Dana, are you worried now that your gift of $250,000 got out to the Noke boys that's kind of like your floor when it comes to birthday gifts?
Hey, my
now
birthday
for
was in
everybody?
May, dude. My birthday was in May 2nd. May 2nd.
You know what? I'm glad you asked me that question. Let me set this record straight.
Oh.
First of all these people on the internet, go fuck yourself. Okay? I spend my money however the fuck I want to spend my money. Mind your own fucking business, number one. Number two, you know, if you look at what Kyle and the Nelk boys have done as far as Hallerhead and a lot of other things that they've done, those kids have never asked me for anything, ever. Never asked me for anything. And they couldn't be better people. Kyle has done so many things for me. And believe me, the $250,000 that I gave him for his birthday does not cover the amount of things that kid has done for me.
That's awesome.
So don't count other people's money and mind your own fucking business.
Yeah, somehow you became an asshole when really it was one of the nicest friends gifts I've ever seen in my entire life. Yeah, somehow this piece of shit just gifted a friend of his $250,000. It's like, well, I think that's isn't that a nice gesture?
Yeah. Well, what they act like, what these, and a lot of this is driven by the scumbag MMA media. So what happens is they act like there's this massive safe here at the UFC offices that says fighter pay on it. And I go in there and I just grab whatever I want out of the fighter pay. No, you fucking pieces of shit. This is money that I actually have made over an entire career, and I will spend it however the fuck I want.
Hey! Hell yeah! Hey, that felt good to get that off your chest there.
I'm so glad you asked me that question.
Howdy, baby, Connor.
Here we go.
Hey, happy we did it too. We are also big fans of the entrepreneurialism of that whole crew over there. You know, like mad respect. Obviously, Hallerhead, big sponsor of UFC fights, so I assume there is money in there. Happy Dad, also a big thing over there with the shoeies. I mean, the amount of business you all have done together, and the fact that you, I mean, I don't want to say this, but two different generations of business is happening, but I think real respect's real in that whole thing, and I got nothing but love for that. And the fact that you give $250,000 to people, I think that should have been a compliment.
Yep.
Instead, obviously, it gets taken back. You and the MMA media always hated each other? Always? Or?
I mean, listen to me. You can go back to New York when I was just in New York. Listen to the questions that these people ask me. Tune in Saturday night at the press conference and listen to the questions that these people ask me. It's like one of the guys is like, hey, you know, I just fucking ripped some guy for asking me a stupid question, right? Then the other guy says, you're probably going to get aggravated with me. I'm fucking Jimmy from ABC Sports Radio, but, you know, it's my job. I have to ask these questions. So he asked me about Jake Paul, right?
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Your job is to ask me questions about a guy who isn't in my company and doesn't even fight in this sport.
Yeah.
How the fuck does that even make sense?
He wouldn't be doing his job, Dana.
Right?
The guy, he wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he didn't ask you that, Dana.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's always a lot of grandstanding, it feels like, around the world right now. And you're at the top of the totem pole, especially in the MMA world. You would think they would appreciate you, though, because you're putting on fights like every fucking weekend at this point, right? There's no way this
And they all get to work. They all get to work. They all have jobs. They all whatever.
The sport's never been like that, though, right, Dana? I mean, what you're doing right now, unprecedented, right? And maybe I don't know the small niche MMA community as much as I probably should, and I feel bad for that. But you guys putting on fights like every single weekend is not normal in the combat sports world, I don't think, or...
Not at all. Not even close. First of all, no promoter in the history of the world has done what we have done, you know? And when you talk about fighter pay... We're the only promoter in the history of the world ever that pays people more than what they're actually contracted to make. And that's every single fighter on the roster makes more than they were contracted to make. Fighter pay has gone up and all this. I don't even want to get into this shit, but yeah.
No, but that's really the root of it all, right? They hold that over your head every time a conversation starts about anything, right?
No, it's not that they hold it over my head. What drives them crazy is they don't know. They don't like the fact that they don't know. They want to know fucking everything. Like in all these other sports, you know, you find out. I mean, we're already hearing what's going on with the negotiations with the Boston Celtics and possibly Durant and all this other. I don't tell these fucking people anything ever. You know what they know? What I tell them. And I tell them nothing because I can't stand them and I don't trust them.
Yeah. Well, hey, I think a lot of people would point to a lot of situations that happened throughout your run here as president and say, hey, Dana makes a lot of sense for why he feels that way. Do you think, though, that you'll get to a point where the bonuses, like those get thrown in always, right? They're like, fight bonus goes to this, fight bonus goes to this, fight bonus goes to this. I assume that was something you created to say thank you to your fighters that go in there and do something. And how did those come about, and how many more have been added, do you think, over the years?
Yeah, 100%. And to incentivize people to go out and perform, right? They're all there for one reason and one reason only, to achieve greatness, but to make money. And, we try to incentivize them to perform.